It is Monday with all of its splendor. It's a beautiful day. It's a great evening. I didn't have an opportunity to come on Friday to converse with you about relationships. So I thought I would come on so that we can talk about, as we always do, random topics. And before I go on, I hope that you've gotten your vaccination. If you haven't, um, I would encourage you to do so. It's not too late because the life that you may save may be your own. So just do that. I was reading an interesting article today, um, and it was about a guy who killed his ex girlfriend's boyfriend, and it made me want to bring this topic up in terms of just there's no need to argue. Let's talk about that. There's no need to retaliate. There's no need to argue. There's no need to involve yourself into nonsense. Let me tell you about a quick story, right? And you know, I don't care. So I just talk about myself. So one day, right? So one time I was talking to this girl. I was like 20. I may have been like 30, probably 30 something or whatever, right? So, she had gave me a number or whatever, and we were talking, and great conversation. Um, we were talking, and so she said, "Well, look," she said, "Well, won't you?" She said, "Where you live at?" And I told her. She said, "What are you doing today?" I said, "Well, I'm gonna go to my buddy's house later on." And she said, "What are you doing after that?" I said, "Well, probably nothing." So she said, "Well, won't you, stop over so we can, talk or whatever?" So I said, "Cool, no problem." I said, I'll come through for a little bit or whatever, right? So we can chit chat. So when I came there, right? When I came there, right? I pulled up, right? And at the time, I think I had like a Honda Accord, right? So I had like a green Honda Accord. So when I pulled up, I got out the car. She was on the porch, right? And she was waving like this. So I'm thinking that she's saying, "Hey," letting me know where she lived at or whatever, right? But she wasn't letting me know that. She was letting me know, "Don't come." She was telling me, "Don't come." But the boyfriend or her ex, our baby father, he jumped up, right? And he saw me. And he was like, he called me the N word, and he called me the B word. He said, "You better go to F on," and blah blah blah, and cussing me out and all of that. He said, "You better get the F up the street," and he said it was such vigor, and he was such ebullience, and he was just like vicious or whatever, right? So when he was saying it, asked me what I did. Asked me what I did. No, I ain't. I'm not going back and forth. Guess what I did? I went on and I kept walking. Why? Because she's not mine. And there's no way that I'm going to get in trouble for something that's not mine. And that's her baby father. And she needs to check him. See, because we get so caught up into thinking. Let me deal with this particular phase of the scenario, right? First of all, let me finish the sentence, right? So, no, I was like, no, I wasn't 30 yet. I couldn't have been 30, but so I kept walking, right? So then 2 days later, she called me. Right? She said she apologized, so on and so forth. Right? So she said, "Well, why don't you come back over?" Oh, whatever. Right? She said, "Why don't you come through?" So I went over there. Right? It was in the daytime. Right? So she was like, "He just crazy. I don't deal with him. He broke the restraining order and all this stuff." So me being just, I'm real chill, right? So So she said, "Won't you come back over?" So I went back over, right? It was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, about 2 or 3 o'clock. So I went back over there, right? Lo and behold, we're sitting in the living room, and she heard a car door close, and she ran to the window, and she saw him, and he's coming up the steps, and she said, "Hurry up!" She told me, she said, "Hurry up, go in the closet," right? And I jumped in the closet, and there was a closet full of dirty clothes. All right, there was a closet full of dirty clothes, and when he came in, she hurried up and took him in their bedroom, and I crept out. The point that I'm making is that sometimes we see the value in nonsense, because we think that the person is disrespecting us, or the person the person is doing us dirty, or the person is talking down to us, when he really had no knowledge of me. She had knowledge of me, she had knowledge of him, but he had no knowledge of me. And sometimes we feel like we have to participate in foolishness just to feed our ego, when that's not the case. It's the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life, right? That makes us it's the pride of life that makes us go the extra mile to try to defend our ego, when the ego has no defense. I'm there. Let's just run it back. If I would have participated in that, right? If I would have participated in the argument when he was disrespecting me and so on and so forth, he may have had a gun. If he shoots me, he goes to jail, and she's with somebody else. Are you hearing me? So somebody else becomes the winner because they get her. And I'm saying this to some woman or some man. You're going and you feel like you got to go disrespect so and so over him, or you got to disrespect, or you got to disrespect him over her. And I'm telling you, it's not worth it. There's 8 billion people out in the world. It's no way that you should go out here and be trying to defend yourself over foolishness. You won't win. I'm saying to you, if you're involved in something like this, or you're thinking about it, or you feel like, oh, she got my baby father, let her have him. Oh, he and the son, he in a house with my son. Let me tell you, I've been there. Been there. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Straight up. Nothing. Because if you do something to him, then you get locked up, and then your son go be with somebody else raise your son. Come on, we got to stop this foolishness. Stop the foolish thinking. That's the first part. So the first part is, don't let your ego, or don't try to defend your ego. If your ego is deflated for 5 seconds or for a day, it's okay. Why? Because the next day it could be inflated. You can pump it back up some kind of way, or you can pump it up back up with somebody better than what you trying to, than what you've had. Are you hearing me? The second thing is, leave that thing alone. Me and my old crazy self, my old dumb self, went right back the next day, and she ain't even worth it. And I had to jump in the closet full of dirty clothes, and still had my ego deflated. How so, Cook? Because I had to jump in the closet full of dirty clothes. Here I am, a man of character, a man of prestige, and I'm in a dirty clothes closet. And then I had to jump out of there, run down the steps, and get in my car and pull off. What sense does that make? And guess what happened? After all that, she still called me and trying to go. After all that, she was determined to get me. No. You can't make yourself available to foolishness. I don't care how good they look. I don't care what the conversation is like. I don't care how sexy they are. I don't care what they got going on. You can't make yourself available to foolishness, because you'll be like Forrest Gump, stupid is as stupid does. No. I'm saying to you, look at my example. I got 100 examples. I got Cook Chronicles out. I can talk Cook Chronicles, but I'm saying to you, listen to me. 8 billion people in the world. My grandmother used to say, "With somebody's trash is another person's treasure." Don't do that to yourself. You're better than that. So if you feel entangled, or you feel like you got to defend something, or if somebody's in your house raising your child and all that, listen. You just be involved in that kid's life. Forget about who's there. Come on. No. There's nothing you can do. Somebody want to be disrespectful, walk away. Why? Because you get to live another day. And nobody's worth. Let me tell you something. I probably could have, because I can fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do it all. Box, I do it all. A little bit karate, all that. But what I look like fighting him over her? You don't get no brownie points for that? For getting bailed out? No. I'm saying to you, let's be prosperous in all our ways. Not negligent. Not foolish. Ain't nobody out here worth you risking your freedom, worth you risking your life over what? Over that? Nah. I'm glad I walked away. He called me a B. He called me an MF. He called me the N-word. He called me every name you can. And I just kept walking. It ain't worth it. Why? Because my name is Richard Cook. And you got to say your name. Look at yourself and say, I'm worth something, baby. I'm worth something. I might not be worth nothing to that person, but I'm worth something to somebody else. You're valuable. You're too valuable to be doing dumb stuff. And listen, after all that, the girl still was calling me. Nah, back then they didn't have, you can block them or whatever. So you just had to ignore the call. And that's what I did. I just ignored it. Why? Because you just have to be willing to move forward without the foolishness. Hopefully this blessed you. Listen, I'm going to have more stories for you. I just wanted to bless you today. Hopefully this encouraged you and this saved somebody's life. Because the guy that I just read about, he got like life plus whatever. Because he killed the girl, the boyfriend. Or whatever. I don't know. It was another state or whatever. But I'm just saying to you, don't be that guy. And don't be that girl to encourage the foolishness. Don't do that. You're better than that. Let's stop the foolishness. Let's move forward and be prosperous. I holler at you. I love you, but God loves you best.